From our founding, Stop Anti-Semitism has operated on one guiding belief. Anti-Semitism thrives when there are no consequences. So we created consequences, a lot of them. We created visibility. We turned the spotlight towards those who targeted on our community, making silence impossible. On campuses where Jewish students were hunted through libraries, where professors glorified Hamas and Hezbollah terrorists, where mobs shut down our buildings and administrators hid under desks, we stepped in. We documented the offenders, we worked with attorneys, lawmakers, and victim families, and we ensured the message was not mistakable. If you target Jewish students, your actions will not disappear into the darkness. We will shine a light on you that, thanks to Google and SEO, will follow you for the rest of your life. When you look for a job, when you look for a spouse, when you look for a nanny, when you look for anything, our work will always be documented, again, thanks to Google and SEO. In corporations where DEI leaders smeared Israel, excused Hamas, we pressured CEOs. Some resigned, many were terminated, but policies were changed, thankfully, from governmental to art institutions. Online, where anonymous accounts spread violent threats, we traced patterns, elevated evidence, and worked with authorities, leading to arrests from Florida, South Carolina, New York, California, and Texas. And we're not slowing down, sadly. Today, Stop Anti-Semitism, I'm proud to say, runs one of the most robust anti-Semitic enforcement operations in the United States, monitoring campuses, digital networks, activist groups, and public officials, documenting incidents in real time and mobilizing millions of people, of allies that are quietly by our side. But the fight is bigger than the exposure, and it's about securing a future where Jewish students can walk across a quad without being screamed at, a future where employers understand that anti-Semitism is not activism, it's bigotry, and it will cause you to lose your job. A future where fact, not propaganda, shapes policy. A future where global institutions, from Google to ChatGPT, from governments to universities to media, finally treats Jew hatred with the seriousness of other minority-targeted hate. To get there, we need three things: action, real action as I listed, accountability, relentless vigilance, because anti-Semitism does not take breaks. It doesn't wait for elections. It doesn't disappear because we are exhausted and tired. And when I tell you myself and my team are exhausted and tired, that's the least of it. Stop Anti-Semitism has never been more essential, more strategic, or more effective than it is now. But we cannot do this alone. The demand, the volume of tips, the number of investigations, sadly, it continues to grow instead of decrease. If we want a safer future for the Jewish people, this is the moment to stand together and act. We have to push harder to make it clear that Jewish safety is a non-negotiable. Tonight, I'm asking you to always be in the fight with us, not just in spirit, but in true action. Participate in calls to action. Write letters to your governmental officials. Speak to the teachers and the college administrators that are making, if it's not your friends and kids, it's making other community members feel unsafe. When we act, lives change. And anti-Semites learn, sometimes for the very first time in their lives and history, that targeting Jews will come at a price. And together we can ensure that Jew hatred never goes unanswered again. As a former refugee from the USSR, I say this with all of my heart. God bless the United States. God bless Israel, and Am Israel Chai. Thank you.
Hey, Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rekha Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is the Mayim in Atlanta, and you just saw on the screen very mean lady trying to make life worse for everybody that doesn't agree with basically who her people are, in which her people are the Amalekites of the Bible. This is biblical Amalek. That's their name. That's who they are. That's who they go back to. And they're being exposed. The acts and atrocities that they've been committing over the last however many years has people putting the scopea on them. They're being looked at and investigated, and it's being found out that these are not the Lord's true people. This is Amalek. There would be no more war when the Lord's true people returned to the land, and everything would be peace. The earth would be thriving, but instead we have these people, and we're under war. This earth is polluted. Our food is defiled. People's understanding and the cohesion between people is gone. And it's because we have wicked rulership. Even the fact that they can have laws changed and different ordinances put in place for people to not speak against them shows that they are not the Lord's people. There would be none to plead our cause in the last days. But instead, these people can have you thrown in jail for denying part of their history or their so-called history. That shows that they're not the people. The true people would be the tail and not the head, but these people are the head of basically the whole world. They can have laws put into different countries to appease them, for you not to be able to talk bad about them, for you not to be able to question who they are and what they've been doing. That shows that they're not the Lord's true people. This is Amalek. Amalek is being exposed, and Amalek being exposed is going to lead to the famine of the word, where they're going to try to censor the internet and everything that's online for anything you could say against them. And then once that's done and that doesn't work because this exposure doesn't stop, they're going to take things physical. And as it says, the devil shall come down with great wrath. And this is going to exacerbate Jacob's trouble. But it's all going to lead into the kingdom of heaven being established on this earth. And these people going down. Amalek goes down in the end. It tells you, actually, let's go straight to it. Actually, we'll start here. We'll go to Numbers 24 in a second, Lord willing. But Jeremiah 30 and 12, it says, For thus saith the Lord, thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous. And if you see here, at the top it says deliverance from captivity promise. This is Israel in the end, in the last days, in the end days. We would be in very low estate. It says thy bruise is incurable, and thy wound is grievous. The Lord put these curses on us, and we have some of Israel awakening right now, but the majority of Israel is still in a very low case. Even the hopeful elect, which have awakened, some of us are in terrible case. We're still in this flesh. We're still under the curses. We're still in a bottom position. We're still that tail and not the head. It says, there's none to plead thy cause. But with these people, everybody's there. They can have any country change their laws to appease them. They can plead their own cause, but Israel wouldn't even have themselves to plead their cause. We're trying, but we have to be on the highways and byways to plead our cause. These people can go on TV and address the whole world about their cause. This shows that they are not the people. This is exposure. It says, there is none to plead thy cause, that thou mayest be bound up. Thou hast no healing medicines. The Lord got us with these curses. He put them on us We can't do anything. There's no might in our hand to get out of the situation that we're in. We just have to be patient and wait on the Lord for Him to bring down all of our enemies. With Amalek, who you just saw on the screen, who's trying to make life miserable for everybody else, that's the number one enemy that He's going to bring down. And He's currently bringing them down with their exposure. And them trying to defend themselves to try to plead their own cause is going to cause them to fall even faster. It's going to show that this is the devil of the Bible. It's those sons of perdition that will be revealed. It says, all thy lovers have forgotten thee. And these people are in all of the other countries. They have friends. They have allies. They're turning on them quickly, but it still shows they're not the people. They seek thee not, for I have wounded thee with the wound of an enemy, with the chastisement of a cruel one, for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. And I'm going to keep reading here. It says, why criest thou for thine affliction? Thy sorrow is incurable for the multitude of thine iniquity, because thy sins were increased. I have done these things unto thee. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. Because this affliction that the Lord put on us, a large part of it was through the other nations, and especially through the Edomites. He uses them as a sword to punish the nations. And that's what they're doing over there in the land currently, where everybody is seeing what they're doing and calling them out. They're being a sword unto Ishmael right now. They're carrying out judgment on Ishmael because they are the Lord's sword. And even saying, all thine adversaries shall go into captivity, why don't they have everybody else in captivity? That would be a marking of the true Israelites when they return home. Instead, they have their Balfour Declaration, and none of the prophecies of the kingdom of heaven are true with them. There's war still. They don't have slaves. The nations aren't flowing unto them to learn from them. They are in their land, not dwelling alone. Or it's not even their land. They're there, not dwelling alone. And they're not in peace and safety. It's showing that they're not the people. It says, for I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord, because they called thee an outcast, saying, this is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. You are not the people. You're not in low case. You're able to call and make the laws currently, which shows that you're Amalek. Amalek, Numbers 24 and 20. And when he looked on Amalek, and this is more end time prophecy, this is Balaam and Balak, and Balaam's eyes were open of what it would be in the last days. If you jump up to Numbers 24 and 14, Balaam says, and now, behold, I go unto my people. Come therefore, I will advertise thee, or show thee, what this people shall do to thy people in the latter days. Showing that it's the latter days. So what the Israelites would do to the other nations, what they would do to Balak's people. And I believe he was a king of Moab, maybe of Ammon. Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's showing Balaam's showing what happened to his people. And when Yahushua returns, he's going to put down all rule, power, and authority. It's all going to be under his foot. And that involves all of the other nations. It's only Israel will be delivered, and it's the kingdom of Israel that's going to be established. But with Amalek, Numbers 24 and 20 was just showing that this is end time prophecy. And it says, and when he looked on Amalek, those are those people claiming to be the Lord's people. He took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations. These are the first of the nations. They can have laws changed. They can have governors put onto your modem, onto your internet usage to see what you're saying and then expose what you're saying to the world, to everybody. She said it would go to anybody, your potential dates, your potential employers. It would go out everywhere. She's trying to ruin your life for speaking truth against them because they are indeed Amalek. Was the first of the nations. These are the people that this is the top of the earth right now. These are your CEOs. These are the people that run the banking system. These are the elite of them do. These are the people that control the media. These are the people that set world policy. This is the first of the nations, and that this is something they're being exposed for. That's why they get so mad when people bring up lists of the CEOs that are of Amalekite descent, or when they bring up the people in the government that are of Amalekite descent. They get mad at that because it shows that they are the first of the nations. They should be the tail, not the head, if they were the true people. Until Yahweh Shai comes and sets up his people on the top. It says, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. These are a cursed people. They've done so much evil throughout their time of rulership that they're going to have to be, their whole seed line will be taken out. And that goes for all of Edom, which Amalek's the top of Edom. The rest of Edom being so-called Caucasians. They all set these people up and helped to establish them in that land. That's what World War II was about. But all these things, their exposure, or them coming down with great wrath, them bringing these policy changes to make people not speak on their behalf negatively. This is revealing them to be those sons of perdition. So 2 Thessalonians 2 and verse 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, that great, terrible day of the Lord, except there come a falling away first. So the true Israelites fell away from their heritage, fell away from everything that the Lord gave them, from being known as Israelites, and another people stepped in. These are the bastards that dwell in Ashdod. These are those aliens maintaining the homes of the Israelites, spoken of in Lamentations. These are the man of sin. These are the sons of perdition. It says, and that man of sin be revealed. These are the people that are sitting in the place of the Israelites, trying to call themselves that, but it's not showing because they are everything opposite. These are Satan's people. So which Satan means adversary, and these people are adverse to the Lord's true ways. The Lord says not to wear a hat while prophesying or praying. These people put a hat on, and they're known for wearing that hat. But that's anti-biblical. It's adverse. These are the sons of perdition. These are the sons of Satan. And they're about to be destroyed. Just like you saw in Numbers 24. But his latter end shall be that he is no more. This is the son of perdition, destruction. And that man of sin be revealed. So go against the ways of the Lord. They're adverse, which sin is the transgression of the law. So they bathe in it. They transgress the Lord's law and then convince the world that they're doing right. It says the son of perdition. This is the bad son, just like that Macaulay Culkin movie. And they're going to be destroyed. They're going to be absolutely wrecked when Yahweh Shah returns. Let's get one more. Go back to Deuteronomy 33. Because this is how supposed to be when the true people return. But what these people are showing is not it. And it just going to keep going into their exposure, which them being exposed is prophetic as well. But Deuteronomy 33 and verse 27, the eternal power is thy refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms, and he shall thrust out the enemy from before thee. This should have happened with you returning, or you quote unquote returning, because it's not your land, so you're not really returning, but you going into the land. This should have happened. There should have been no Ishmaelites or Elamites there claiming to be the sons of Ham in that land. There should have been nobody in the Gaza Strip, because the Lord would have thrust out the enemy from before thee. That wouldn't have happened. There should be no war going on. And she'll say, destroy them, because the Lord's going to actually use his creature as the object to destroy the nations. He says, with thee will I destroy the nations. We didn't see that in 1948. You didn't do that. Israel then shall dwell in safety alone. You're not dwelling in safety alone. You've got enemies that you set up and say there's certain events happening that these enemies are striking you, but it's all just for you to move in and take more land, take more control. You're not alone. You're not dwelling in safety alone. This is what it would be like if you were the true people. It says, the fountain of Jacob shall be upon a land of corn and wine. Also his heavens shall drop down dew. You have to have vegetation, trees shipped in to that land, because it's not in its glorious state, because you are not the people. The Lord would have turned it into paradise, but you're not the people. It says, happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee. Israel being the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as our scattered, because we've been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. So we're going to come back looking like all of the other nations, including looking like Amalek, but their seed through their father, and not their mother, through their father, would trace back to an Israelite, a Negro, Latino, or Native American, a true Israelite. But that's who Israel is. It's not Amalek over there pretending to be the people. They don't fit the prophecies. And this is the time of the Gentiles, but it's coming to a close. It says, happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, O people saved by the Lord. Those people were never saved by the Lord. We would have seen a great salvation as well. It says, the shield of thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellency? And thine enemies shall be found liars unto thee. Our number one enemy is Esau, Edom, led by the Amalekites. Basically one of those ladies, that lady that was on the screen, her and her people. Those are Amalekites. Those are the number one enemy of the Lord, number one enemy to the Israelites. And they're being found to be liars. They're nothing but the best thing they do is lie. They kill and they lie. And these are liars. They're not the Lord's people. That's Amalek. And thine enemies shall be found liars unto thee, and thou shalt tread upon their high places. This is one of their high places. Their ism that they love to be called by. And they're trying to keep that high place, but it's coming down. They are liars. And they're being exposed, and soon they're going to come down they're going to bring that famine of the word, and they're going to come down with great wrath, fully bringing in Jacob's trouble, because we're in Jacob's trouble, especially the northern kingdom, but not the full-blown Jacob's trouble, but that is coming. So, Lord willing, that was edifying. I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.